risk takers. Leaders take risks. If you're a conservative all the time, now you got to be smart. I'm not saying you say, hold my beer and watch this. I'm not saying you do something unethical and say, look, I know what the AFI says, but trust me here. No, we need to comply, follow the rules. But you got to be bold. Within legal, ethical, and moral lines, go for it. That's what makes a leader. You can't say we've always done it this way. I'm just laughing at myself. There's so many stories. I've been in the Air Force for 34 years. Now, I know, I look young. I know, people tell me all the time. Thank you very much. But I actually came in when I was 12 years old. Did you know that? Because I am young. No, I came in at 19. But I've seen so much when people were not bold, and then I've seen when you have a bold leader, everyone goes, we're following her. We're following him because they're making a change. They're not afraid. They're willing to take that risk, and you create that team of enabling leaders. You know what else I found out as a leader? When I was coaching the biggest team in the Air Force operationally. I know this is going to sound funny. Don't laugh at me. But the biggest staff I had was like 35 people. I know. It's not that big in the chaplain corps, but 35 people. But let me tell you what happened. When we made bold changes into the system, into the program, and we weren't afraid to confront the obstacles, everybody became creative. My branch chiefs began to speak out. I had 3 branch chiefs. My contractors began to say, hey, sir, what about this? Hey, what about that? I was like, wow, I hadn't thought about this. Because we can't do it all as leaders. That's what I'm trying to say. We got to create the environment of boldness, bold risk takers, enabling leaders to do this because they see a bigger objective and the ongoing viability and the fitness of the organization. You got to make change, people. Wake up today. Take the risk that's within the parameters of safety, within the parameters of ethicalness, and if that's a word, and morale or moral, okay? Willingness to take great risk in sponsoring innovation. Isn't that what General Polakowski would say? Innovation. Take the risk. Make it happen. All right, next slide. All right. Whew, I know my time is running, but watch this. This one, I know. Now, I can spend the next 30 minutes, but I'm not, on this one slide. Resilient leaders. These people remind me of our history, and they remind me of what it takes to go forward, Major. It reminds me. Okay, look at the top. You know who that is? Anyone? Jackie Cochran. She was prohibited from fighting and flying for our Air Force. Fly, fight, and win. No, Jackie. You're a woman. You forgot. You can't do that. Unfortunately, that was a time in our world, in our Air Force, that a woman could not fly. Because of her gender, she was not allowed to fly. But, so what they decided to do with Hap Orner and all those leaders, they said, we're going to create what's called the Women Air Service Pilots, the WASP. So they created the WASP, and get this, ladies, 25,000 ladies tried to sign up. 25,000. Only 1,074 were selected, General Pletcher, and they created what was called the WASP. And they flew behind the scenes. We didn't see them. They were ferrying, broken planes or planes that needed mechanical repair but could still fly, but not fit for the battle, and so forth. But she made a difference. She would not quit. She was resilient. In fact, I said, hey, Miss Cochran, by the way, one thing I got to mention. See that third picture? You know why she looks like that? That's how she came out of most of her flights. She put on her makeup. She was known because she was a beauty consultant and had an empire of beauty products, flying the planes. And she had an empire of beauty products, by the way. See, that's creativity. That's resilience. But, by the way, they said, Ms. Cochran, could you test whether or not a woman is viable in a shuttle, in a rocket to go to space? She led the way. First woman to be tested to see if you can go to infinity and beyond. But check this out. When Ms. Cochran died, 1980, she's enshrined right across the street at the museum. Not only is she enshrined, check this out. Are you ready? She held more records in speed, altitude, and distance than any woman. No, wait, correction, change the tape. More records than any pilot ever at the time of her death, male or female. Amazing, right? A woman who was told you can't fly, she set more speed records, more distance records, more altitude records, because you can do it. Yes, you can, women. You can do it. See, I thought I would get the women go, yes. They're like, yeah, we already know that. That's old. Okay, so are you on this end? It will never happen. Jackie could have stayed there, couldn't she? She could say, okay, I'm just going to stay in the makeup industry and that's it. No, she did them both. And are you in the middle? It could happen. Or are you moving to the right now? Are you moving to the right? It will happen. I will be resilient. I am not giving up on life. I am not taking my life. I'm not going to commit suicide. I'm not going to just give up on my relationship. I'm going to change some things. I'm not giving up on my team. We're going to change them. I want to fire that person, but you know what? I'm going back this week and I'm going to be a better leader. I'm going to change because I'm going to apply these principles. It will happen.